Hello, Shelley here from Spin Cushions, and today I'd like to show you the very last pattern in my Siren's Atlas collection called Arabian. It's quite cool, a bit of fun texture and a bit of inter-round action. It's actually quite easy. So I'm going to be making mine in a single colour. You can make it in as many colours as you like. I'll let you know if you need to do anything different to change colours at the end of a round. Now I'm going to start with a magic circle. You can start however you wish. Okay, now our first round is made up of trebles UK, doubles US, so you can do chain 3 starting chain to start, or a false stitch as I like to do. Then chain 2 and a stitch, treble UK, double US. So in the end we're going to have 8 stitches and the equivalent of 8 2 chain spaces, but just do 8 stitches and I will do that and show you how to finish off this round. Okay, I have my 8 stitches. Now if you're changing colours, chain 2 and join with a slip stitch to your first stitch. If you're not changing colours, chain 1, pull my magic circle tight, and I'm going to join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US to my false stitch, or the top of your third chain of your starting chain. What that does is it puts us as if in the middle of a 2 chain space, ready to start the next round. Okay, and the next round starts with chain 3 starting chain or a false stitch, then 2 trebles UK or doubles US over the joining stitch, so in this what is pretending to be a 2 chain space. Then we're going to skip the next stitch and do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the next stitch, in the 2 chain space, I'm sorry. Then we're going to skip the next stitch and do 3 stitches, trebles UK, doubles US, chain 2 and then 3 more stitches. 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's our corner, and our side is just a stitch in there. Okay, so I've done all of my repeats. I just need to do 3 stitches in the same place as our first stitches. 1, 2, 3. If you're changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch. If you're not, chain 1, join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US to your first stitch. Alright, now I'm going to get to the first of our funky rounds. It's all double crochets UK, single crochets US. We're going to do 1 over the joining stitch in that hole. Then we're going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the loop behind V of the next 3 stitches. Now that's the V of your stitch, and if you turn it over there's a bump on the back. Now if you've done a chain 3 starting chain, just choose any bump on the back, it'll be fine. I've done a false stitch and there's kind of a similar bump. It's just here that I am going to wriggle my hook into, that I can't quite see through the camera or feel. Where are we? Actually, it's usually not this difficult, it's just because I'm trying to see through the camera. Ugh. There we go, got it. So double crochet UK, single crochet US. It'll be easier on the other stitches, she says, and then splits the yarn. And then in the next one as well. Right, so what that does, it gives us a nice flat this pattern on the front, but it's nice and flat. Okay, now we've done that, we're going to chain 2. We're going to slip stitch around this stitch of round 1 before, down below, just a slip stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch around the next one as well just a slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 2 and do our stitches. We're going to skip that stitch in the middle and do our double crochet UK, single crochet US in the back, in the loop behind V, back bump, whatever you like to call it, of your next 3 stitches. One, two, 3. Now in our corner, in our 2 chain corner space, 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch. So there we go. That's our first little dip down into the rounds below. So chain 2 and slip stitch around that stitch, slip stitch around that stitch, chain 2. Not hard. I'll do that all the way around and show you what's next. Okay, nearly done this round. I really like the shape it makes at this point. So all I need to do is a stitch in the same place as our first stitch. If you're changing colours, chain 2, join with a slip stitch. If you're not, chain 1, join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US. Now, next round, normally I would do a false stitch, but I'm going to do chain 3 this time to show you what it looks like in the round after. So chain 3 starting chain, and we're going to do a treble UK WS in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the fourth one's kind of been pulled down a little bit, but it's still there. Now in this stitch that we skipped from the previous round, we're going to do a half double treble UK or a half triple US. Then if you're not quite, you're going to do a stitch in the next 4 stitches. Work backwards if you can't quite see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first one we need to do one in. Just those chain stitches down towards the center can pull it out of whack a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in our corner, 2 chain corner space, 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch. So that's that. I'll do that all the way around and show you what's next. Okay, repeats are done. I just need to do a stitch in the same place as our first. Then chain 2, join with a slip stitch if you're changing colours. If you're not, chain 1 and join up to the 3rd chain of your starting chain or your false stitch with a double crochet UK, single crochet US. Alright, now we're going to do a double crochet double crochet UK terms, single crochet US terms over the joining stitch. Now we're going in the loop behind V again. We're going to be doing double crochets, UK, single crochets US. Now as I explained before, I did chain 3 this time so I can show you. Just pick any bump on the back. Sorry, it's really hard through the camera to see, but normally it's really quick. Okay, you can see that one there. The light's fading, I guess it does not helping. There we go. So you sort of get the same effect at the front. And then, except I've joined up to the 2nd chain and that has not helped. Let me fix that. Okay, chain 1, top of the 3rd chain, join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US. Now let's find a bump on the back. Should be easier now. Any will do. There we go. So same sort of effect on the front. Now in the next, so that's 1, 4, well that's first stitch, so we've got to do 4 more, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to chain 2 We're going to go down to this 2 chain space from before. We're going to slip stitch around it. Then we're going to chain 1 and go across to the other 2 chain space, do another slip stitch. Chain 2. We're going to go back, we're going to skip that middle stitch, and we're going to do in the loop behind V of the next 5, the last 5, a double crochet UK, single crochet US. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the corner, stitch, chain 2, stitch. So very similar to what we did before, but this time we've got a chain in between the slip stitches that are around the chains. So I'll do that all the way around and show you what's next. Okay, all of that's done. Just need to do a stitch in the same as my first. Chain 2, join with a slip stitch if you are changing colours. If you're not changing colours, chain 1 and join with a double crochet to your first stitch. Alright, and from now on in it's pretty much the same. So chain 3 starting chain, and in the next 6 stitches this time we'll do a treble UK WS, then we'll do a half double treble or a half triple in the skip stitch. Sorry, I will show you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more. Remember that one can get pulled down a bit by those chains. Then in this skipped stitch from the round below, I'll do a half stitch, and then in the next 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, almost 5. 5, 6 in the corner, 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch. So do that all the way around, and then we'll have another round of the double crochets. See you soon. Okay, repeats are done. I just need to do a stitch in the same, in that 2 chain space there. Same as always, chain 2, join with a slip stitch if you're changing colours. If you're not, chain 1, join with a double crochet. Now everything from here on in for the next few rounds is exactly the same. So a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the loop behind V of 7 stitches, then chain 2, go down, slip stitch around that, skip the middle stitch, exactly the same, and then the next round is what we've just done, and then the round after that is again another double crochet round. That's 9. So what I'll do is I'm going to do rounds 7, 8 and 9, and then come back and show you how to do the last round. Okay, so here we are at the end of round 9. Everything has been done just as before. We just have more stitches on each side. I just need to chain 1 and join with a double crochet UK, single crochet US to my first stitch. Don't know why that is being so difficult. There we go. Alright, and our last round is super simple. We start with a double crochet UK, single crochet US over that joining stitch, and we're just going to do the same stitch in the next 10, not back loops or anything, just a loop behind the V, sorry, just in the stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and in that skip stitch that we skipped before, we're going to do a half treble UK, half double US. Sorry. And then in the next 10 stitches, a double crochet UK, single crochet US. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And in our 2 chain corner space, 1 stitch, chain 2, 1 stitch, double crochets UK, single crochets US. Alright, I will go all the way around and show you how to finish this one off. Alright, I've worked my way all the way around. I just need to do a stitch in the same place as our first one. Oops, without splitting the yarn. And chain 2, join with a slip stitch to your first stitch. Cut your yarn. Finish it off. Alright, and there we have it. Arabian from my Siren's Atlas collection. It will benefit from a bit of blocking, especially these stitches. They do have a tendency to pull in there, but a little bit of blocking and it will all be good. So this is Bendigo Woolen Mills 8-ply cotton. This is Cascade Ultra Pima cotton, pretty much the same size actually in this pattern. If you want to make it a bit bigger, add another round just like the last one. If you want to make it smaller, you really do need all of the rounds. So you either probably going down a hook size is the best way to go if you need to make it smaller, but it should be pretty good, I think. So there you have it, Arabian, the last of my Siren's Atlas patterns. I hope you enjoyed it, and check out spincushions.com to see what I've got coming up next. Thanks, bye.